Hey, it's Kenny Jang here with the Daily KJTV. This week, I've been doing some introspection, self-awareness work, really taking an audit of my workflow. And I'll share a little bit about the 80-20 principle that I'm applying that I think you would benefit from too. Hey, so in this age of digital distraction, that's how it started. I was taking an audit of all my activities because I know that I'm not being as productive as I could be. And I looked at the 80-20 principle. 20% of your efforts are producing 80% of the results. Let me say that again. 20% of what you do is driving 80% of the results. 80% of what you do is only driving 20% of your results. What should you do in that circumstance? I think there are two different ways you can approach this, and that is looking at the 80% of your activity that's only driving 20% of your results and optimizing it, trying to find better ways to hack your 80% of your day. However, I think the more strategic way to do it is look at the 20% of the activities that's already driving 80% of your output, your results, your ROI, and figure out how to amplify that, because it's easier to get rid of the 80% that's really not productive for you. One thing that's helped me with the decision process in auditing my work is the marbles philosophy. In fact, it's so important that my mastermind group called ourselves the Marbles Group. And basically, this is where it comes from. Michael, one of our group members, when he was launching one of his successful companies, his team had two jars, one full of marbles, one empty. And they decided that each customer that actually signs up and becomes part of their community would trigger moving a marble from one jar to the other. They had 1,000 marbles in the jar, and they realized that all of their team decisions, everything that they did, their behavior at work, all was driven by a decision of, is what I'm about to do, is the project plan, event, campaign that I'm about to launch, is that going to help support moving a marble from one jar to the other or not? So I think what I'm doing, and what I suggest for you to do, is look at that 80% of your workflow that is not driving the results you want. And there's three things you want to do. You want to reconfigure them to make them move the marble, as we say. You can delegate them or delete them from your workflow. And I promise the last one actually gets addicting, because you can delete stuff and you realize it really doesn't make a big difference in the end. It frees up tons of time and allows you to move that 20% to 21%, 30%, etc., and focus on much more strategic activities that are bringing a higher return on investment. And at the end of the day, moving a marble from one jar to the other. Tell me what you think, and I'll check you out tomorrow for another tip. And remember, clutter is costly.